Okay, comfortable?
I am. I make a living.
Good. No, I mean, are you comfortable where you sitting?
Yeah, that's the old Jewish joke.
Oh,
If somebody
okay.
says, "Are you comfortable?" Yeah, I make a living.
Living.
Yeah. My name is Sue Katz. I am a collage artist, mixed media artist, and this is my process. I don't think I would be me if I was not an artist. It's part of who I am. When I'm up in my studio and I'm really working and I'm really into what I'm doing, for me that is the most joy and most fulfilling that I feel like I can be in my life. I started off, as most artists do, like dabbling in different things, but mostly I started off in drawing. And then I went through painting, different mediums such as watercolor, pencils, different types of things, till one day I sort of thought, it would be kind of fun just to cut something up and just paste it on a piece of paper and see what happens. And I started doing that and I thought, well, this is really fun. And it just kind of grew from there. And I think that's been about, oh my gosh, probably about 20 years. I tend to use images like from the 60s and the 50s, retro imagery, because I kind of grew up in that era. I was always fascinated with the kind of kitschy advertising. It's always fascinated me. So I think that's kind of why I use it so much in my work now. I'll start off with an idea or an inspiration, something that I want to work off of. And then very often as I'm working through the piece, it ends up coming out differently than what I kind of expected. Or I end up changing it midway through and say, I don't really like how this background is looking, although that's a background I kind of thought I was going to use in the beginning, but you know what, it really doesn't look so great, so I'm going to use this instead. I get sidetracked a lot too when I'm working because I have a lot of things in my studio, and as I'm working, I sort of think, okay, well, let me find something really interesting to put in this corner, or let me find something that would work maybe in this space. Digging through things and, believe it or not, like all this stuff here, there's a lot of stuff underneath here. I don't really even know how much stuff is underneath here myself. I'm sure when I clean all this up, I'll be like, oh my God, that was a piece I was looking for that rooster that I tried to do like 2 months ago. Every piece that I put down definitely has a reason why it's in that space. It's never really just random. Like I never just kind of like find something and just paste it up. It has to be a specific piece for that specific area. I've been an artist for like such a long time, my whole life practically, and I still get afraid of a blank canvas. And I don't think that ever goes away, at least not for me. I know all this in my head, and I know that I just have to start doing it. Just come up to the studio, just start putting some stuff on canvas, just start gluing stuff down on canvas, and then, once you get started, that's usually when it's like, you know what, that wasn't so bad. I like to treat it as like a job. It takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of discipline to be able to come up and work, on a daily basis. It really does. It's not easy. I mean, it's very gratifying and it's certainly worthwhile, but it definitely has its negative aspects as well. If somebody comes up to me and says, I don't know what to do, I'm having a block, I don't know how to get myself back into it, I always say, don't feel like what you do has to be perfect, because it probably won't be, but that's okay. Just as long as you feel like you want to be creative and you can start to be creative and you just do what makes you happy and don't worry about the outcome. We all want some kind of validation for ourselves. We want people to look at our work and say, oh my God, I love this, I want to buy this, and that's validation for us. I mean, it shouldn't be everything. I think the older I get, the more I think, it's just really nice to be creative. And whether or not people like this or not, well, I can't really do anything about that because everybody has their own tastes and everyone is not going to like what you do more often than not, and that's okay. But that's something that you have to learn through your experience as an artist. You're not going to sell out at every show. You might not sell anything. You might sell 2 pieces. And that's okay, but your value doesn't rest on other people's opinions of your work. Because life is really short, and I know that's such a cliche, but it's really true. If you have an inkling to say, I want to go outside and just draw trees, or, I've never done it before and I'm afraid. It doesn't matter, just go and do it and start. At the end of it all, these are things that we do for ourselves to make us better people, to make us more fulfilled in life. Tattoos are art to me. It's just art on your body. And I've always loved them. I've always been fascinated with them. And, you know, for me, this is the way that I express myself. And not everybody may like it or, you know, whatever, but that's okay. And it doesn't really matter because, you know, it's kind of my canvas and it's what's important to me or what I like. All it takes to pull things off is to be confident in what you're doing and really kind of like work it.